Hey, good afternoon. Welcome to our daily update uh, of COVID-19 here in the city of Newark. We do this every day from Monday through Friday at 5 p.m. We appreciate everyone who logs on to listen to us give a daily update of what's happening in our city, around the county, the state, the country, and the precautions that we have to take, the success um, that we're having and the defeats that we're having as well. We want to give all of the information as raw and as unfettered as we possibly can, so we can make good decisions about how we live our lives. This is a new day. No one expected this. No one is prepared for this. It's a very difficult time, and I know it's difficult to be in your home, particularly if you don't have a lot of rooms, if you're not rich with 5 floors or 4 floors with backyards and front porches and libraries and dens and music rooms, that it's just you and your children in that one room. May God wrap his hand around you and smile on you every single day to get you through this. I know it's a difficult and trying moment for many of us here in the city of Newark who are struggling through this. In fact, studies are beginning to show that people in our communities, particularly Black and brown people, African Americans, are dying disproportionately of this disease than anybody else, probably because our lack of access to health care, plus all the underlying conditions that we have. And the people are outside and not knowing that we are perishing from this because we have high rates of heart disease, high rates of cancer, high rates of diabetes, of sickle cell anemia, all of these things that make our immune system challenged, that we're disproportionately affected by, make us more susceptible to this disease. And our lack of access to health care makes it even worse. In these communities, we depend on the public sector, public health to treat us. It makes it difficult. And so we're falling victim. That's why it's that much more important to protect ourselves, to follow these orders, to do what you're being asked to do, and not listen to these folks on the internet that are convincing you or trying to convince you that you should perform or act as business as usual, because business is not usual now. It is unusual at this point. I want to say now, and I'm gonna say it again when we get more and more viewers on, but I want to, because I know people are in their house struggling, man. And I know you need to step out and get some fresh air. I'm not angry with you stepping on your porch, going in your backyard, getting in front of your building for a few seconds and then going back inside. I'm not upset about that. When you go outside, put on a mask though, please. There are families who have kids with autism that are in their house right now who are struggling because these kids need a different environment. They need different supports and different helps. And we just want to send our prayers and help and gratitude to those families who need help. And if you need to call someone, the call line is still available. I'm going to find those numbers for you because I want you to call, because I don't want you to be in the house by yourself struggling with these things without any support or any help for your family. So if you need some support and some help, you should probably call 973-757-7377, 973-757-7377 from 9 to 3, or after hours, 973-418-0735, 973-418-0735. And then the 3 hospitals still have their support lines: Clara Mass, Beth Israel, and University Hospital is 973-621-2323, 973-621-2323. That's University Hospital. 973-926-7444. 973-926-7444 is Beth Israel. And 973-844-4357. 973-844-4357 is Clara Mass. Those are numbers you call if you need some support, some help, somebody to talk to, encourage you to get through this. Find opportunities to make it, and for your children to make it as well. You should call those numbers too. If you're in a household right now sheltering with abusive people, there are abusive people in your house that you're sheltering with right now. Call those numbers for support, for some help. because I know that there are folks, particularly you live in a 1-bedroom apartment, a studio, 2-bedroom apartments. It is important for you to get some support and help. So please call. I want to give the numbers now before I go back to those things. Right now in Newark, we have 1,939 positive cases. Yesterday, we had 1,736. So that's about an increase of almost 200 or 200 cases an increase. 1,939 today, 1,736 yesterday. We have 92 deaths as I speak. 92 people in our city have died from the coronavirus. 92. Yesterday at 2 o'clock, we were at 68. I reported 68 on my call. By the time I got off of Facebook Live, so at 2 o'clock, we had 68. At 5:30 yesterday, we went to 80. So from 2 o'clock to 5:30, the numbers changed from 68 to 80. As I report now, we're at 92, right? So from this Facebook Live, we're at 92. I'll get another number after Facebook Live. That's how rapidly we are perishing from this because our hospitals are overrun. And we have to understand that. And the more I see people outside, the more I become despondent at our ability to understand what is actually happening to us here in these cities. So I want to shout out the police and fire department for going over to University Hospital in Beth Israel, showing support and love to those people that are there working, and oftentimes being with our relatives who are there dying alone without support and help, and they become the support, they become the help. So I just want to shout those guys out and those ladies out who went over there and gave support to our frontline workers that are out there doing their best to keep us alive, to help us struggle and fight, and being with our relatives who are not coming out of this thing alive. It is incredibly unfortunate that that's happened. That's why we have to remain diligent, right? We have to remain diligent with the things that we're doing. Stay in the house. Don't come outside unless it's an emergency, right? Only if you're going to the supermarket or the pharmacy. Not riding your bike. Not jogging. I see a lot of people jogging. Do you know that when you're running with other people, it's actually more dangerous? There's a Dutch study that came out that I was just given by one of my colleagues, a Dutch study that talks about slipstream, right? That says it's actually more dangerous to run with people, jog with people, than it is to stand by them, because when they cough, when they sneeze, when they talk, the wind carries it further behind them, right? So it's actually more dangerous to do that, and so you should probably stay in the house. Not probably, you definitely should stay. You know, the CDC is saying that if we stayed in the house just 1 week, if all of us stayed in the house just 1 week, didn't do anything, not even go to the supermarket, that we could help flatten this thing almost instantly. We just stayed in the house 1 week. If all of us just stayed in the house at least 1 week. And it's difficult for us to do that because all of us have not adapted to this new culture. I just want to shout out everybody who has been doing it, man. Thank you. We've been struggling through this. We've been toughing it through. We've been praying it through. We've been as creative as possible. We've been sucking it up. We've been doing what they can to save their lives, their family lives, and the lives of the residents of this community. Want to shout Whole Foods out before I get off of this line. Whole Foods downtown, man, is doing it big. All of the stores in the city should model what Whole Foods are doing. They won't even let you in the store unless you have a mask and gloves on. And that is right. That is the order that Newark passed, and that is the order that Governor Murphy just passed. You know, you need masks and you need gloves to go into the store. And all of the workers in Whole Foods have on their masks and have on their gloves. That should be happening at ShopRite. It's not there yet. ShopRite needs to get on it. That should be happening at all of the places that we're at. Whether you're HelloFresh, a corner store, liquor store, everybody in there should be wearing PPEs, masks and gloves, and everybody who walk in there need masks and gloves. And I just got off of the Instagram back and forth with this guy who says that we didn't think it through to say everybody needs to wear a mask because masks are hard to come by. I don't know where this guy has been, right? And I don't know what group he is a part of, how creative we are. I sat on Facebook Live, especially one on Saturday, and showed you how to make a mask out of cloth and rubber bands, how to make a mask out of. I showed you how to make this out of cloth and rubber bands. Everybody should be, you could put a bandana on. You could put a shirt on. There was a young lady at Whole Foods who took her head wrap off and wrapped it around her nose and mouth so she could get into the store. If the stores started making us do that, we would do it. And it's important. There was a guy who was standing outside of Whole Foods arguing with the guy who made this rule up. Why should we follow it? That's Americans for you, right? That's why we can't curb this thing, because we're busy fighting about things that are inconsequential in relationship to saving our own lives, right? Put on the mask. They ask you to put on a mask, put it on. Put on your shirt, cover your mouth and nose like this before you walk in. You want to do it like that? Go like that. But I want you to put on some gloves. Put on some gloves. Help save people's lives. You got to get rid of your selfishness. Get rid of your entitlement, right? Your selfishness, your privilege. Throw it out. Right? You're talking about all of us here. Put on a mask, put on the gloves. And they should be doing that. As a matter of fact, we're mandating all stores, all places do that in the city. If it's an inconvenience for you, so what? Be inconvenienced. Your inconvenience is going to save someone's life. We can inconvenience you, but we're going to save someone's life. So frankly, I don't care if you get upset. I don't care if you get angry. I don't care if you write me terrible emails. I don't care if you send something on Instagram. You ain't supporting me. You ain't backing me. You ain't voting me. I'd rather save people's lives than get a vote from an individual who refuses to put on a face mask just to walk into a store. Now, let me go through what I wanted to go through today for you, the zip codes. And I want to do this, and I'm going to go over the ages again because I want to make sure that people are seeing this, right? Seeing who's causing this for us and where it's at, and being careful where you live at. We're going to start passing out flyers in your neighborhood to tell you where you live and tell you how many folks in your area have it and why it's important for you to stay yourself inside. 07102, if you at 07102, that's downtown basically. That's basically downtown, right? There are 73 people that have positive for the coronavirus. You at 07114, right? 07114, 61 people. 07114, 61 people. 07112, that's the Wheat Lake section. That's where I'm at. That's all around here. 07112, that's 161 people. 161 people, right? 07108, 07108, 148 people have tested positive for the coronavirus in 07108, Clinton Hill and all around that area. So all those folks hanging out on Clinton Avenue and South 17th Street, South 15th Street, Avon and South 18th Street, South 19th Street, you are spreading the coronavirus. Get off of the corner and go in the house. 07107, 274. That's part of the North Ward. That part of that meets the Central Ward. Right? Part of that meets the West Ward. 07107, 274 people. If you don't know your zip code, go check it. Go check it. Put your address in Google, type it, find out your zip code. 07107, 274 people have it. 07106, 07106, 221. 07106, 221 people are positive for the coronavirus. 07105. Now these are the numbers that are driving it crazy. 07105, you're at 252. 07105, 252 people in your neighborhood, in your area, next to your home, in your community have contracted coronavirus. Stay inside. 07104 has always been driving our numbers. In fact, that was our original hotspot. The first hotspot we listed when we first started tracing these numbers and creating hotspots was the first place we cordoned off, right? 07104, 355 cases. 07104, 300. Now, the thing you need to be look about, see, because 07104 and 07107 are against each other. So 07104 and 07107, they actually overlap. So if you are at 07104, you have where's 07104? 07104, you have 300 and, like I said, 355 cases, 07104. And if you're at 07107, 274 cases. So those two communities overlap and touch one another. So you talk about 274 plus 355. Those are the number of cases that are in that community. That is the first community that we began to cordon off as a hot spot. And not because we didn't like the community, because those numbers speak for themselves. If you live in those communities, stay inside. Don't come outside. Don't come outside. If I was you, I would go to the supermarket once every 2 weeks. Once every 2 weeks. If you have to once a week, once every 2 weeks. I would not send my kids out. My kids would not be playing in a local playground. I would not be riding bikes. I would not be jogging with my friends. I would not be hanging out. If I lived in those areas, I would be in the house. In the house. You know what's in that area? Riverview Court. The first group of people that were out all night long putting videos up. That's 07104. Do you understand what I'm telling you? I would not be out doing those things. I would not be out doing the things that people say are normal to do. If I was you, I would be socially distancing, staying in the house as much as I can, calling my relatives who live in that area and telling them, hey, stay in the house. We're driving the numbers up. That's where it's coming from the most. Now, let me tell you these ages, because you need to know the ages, right? You need to know the ages because this stuff is serious, and I don't believe we are taking it as serious as we should, right? These ages are incredibly important for us all. Let me get to it. I want you to see this because this is, so here we go. If 20 to 30 years old, right? 20 in your 20s, the 20s, 176 people have it in the city of Newark in their 20s. 176 people in their 20s have tested positive for coronavirus, right? In your 30s, 381. In your 30s, 381 people have tested positive for coronavirus in their 30s. In your 40s, 396 people in their 40s have contracted the coronavirus. 396 people tested positive. In your 50s, 422 people. 422 people have tested positive for the coronavirus in their 50s. If you add all three of those up, 381, 396, 422, that is the bulk of our cases. And just for honorable mention, if we add the 20s in there, it becomes almost 3/4 or 2/3 of the cases that we have in the city. And that is the middle-aged group of folks in this town that I keep stressing to you, because you are the people, right? You are the people who keep going to the beauty parlor. You're the people who are having sneak beauty parlor appointments in your house. You're the people who are calling your family over to have car parties. You're the people, instead of doing the DJ Nice thing virtually, you outside in front of 515 Elizabeth Avenue, hanging out with a group of guys. That's that group. That's that group. You're standing out in front of Family Dollar on 6th, right? That's that group. You're playing basketball on 1st Street across from Academy Spires. That's you. That's that group. That's you. You're walking up and down downtown. Some of you are jogging, riding your bikes. You're overcrowding Branchbrook Park. We got to throw you out of Branchbrook Park every day. We got to keep throwing you out of Branchbrook Park. You're the ones who are fussing because you can't do pull-ups in a bench at the thing at Weekway Park. Do some push-ups in your living room. right? You can't do pull-ups on the bar. You're the ones. You're the same people who are on the internet talking about 5G versus this G, and this person is a conspiracy, and this person is this, and that person did this, and who's doing this to us. But you can't even stay in the house and keep yourself and your family safe and your relatives safe, or telling people to stay safe. Why don't everybody today, just for Newark Strong, reach out to 5 people that they know and on the internet and tell them to stay home tomorrow. Don't go outside for nothing, anything. Reach out to 5 people you know. Tell them stay home. Don't go outside for anything. Don't go shopping. Don't go to the pharmacy. Don't go walk your dog. Don't get on the bike. Stay in the house. Stay in the house. Just tell everybody, 5 people, right? So we have 2,000 people on. If 5 of us tell one of us tell 5, if all of us tell 5 people, then we have a huge number of people that are telling people to stay in the house for tomorrow to help us flatten the curve, flatten the curve, flatten the curve. 30s to 50s. If you're 30, 31, 32, if you're in the 40s or you're in your 50s, we have work to do. That's my age group. That's my age group. That's the mayor's age group, right? And so our age group have to step up and do better. Not the kids, us. I just showed you what the numbers are. Us. Not the babies, not the 15s and 16-year-olds or the 18-year-olds. People calling me about kids playing kickball. Good, we're going to move them. They shouldn't be out playing kickball. But you can't go to the beauty parlor. You can't have a card party. You can't smoke hookah with your friends. You can't do those things anymore. You can't sneak and go to the bar. You can't do it. You can't just hang out in the street. And if they ask you to wear a mask at ShopRite, damn it, put on a mask. That's what you should be doing. Not risking people's lives for your own selfish gain and individualistic attitude that we have to get out of. Don't do it anymore. Don't do it anymore. It's over. It's over. This is a new way of life for all of us. It's a new way of life, and we have to live by it, right? So a few things while we at it, while I'm pointing fingers at people and holding people accountable. New Jersey Transit. Now, we've had many calls with New Jersey Transit to tell them to clean the buses, stop stacking the buses with people. Obviously, there's still a problem, and we reached out to them again, and we're going to continue to reach out to them, right? Here's the thing. Don't ride the bus if it's overcrowded. Don't get on it. If it's 20, 30 people on the bus, don't get on it. You're risking your life. If you're an essential employee and there's 30 people on the bus, go to work late. Tell the people at your job that you couldn't get on the bus because there was too many people there, and the mayor of the city told you do not get on a crowded bus. Blame it on me. Tell them to call City Hall. I'll write a letter for you to tell you that I told you not to get on that bus because it was too crowded. There's 25, 30, 40 people on the bus. Don't get on the bus. You're risking your life unnecessarily. And New Jersey Transit should be ashamed of itself if it's allowing people to get on buses with 20 and 30 people. Hell, when there was no pandemic, they was riding past us, leaving us at the bus stop. Anyway, they should do that practice today, right? Do not crowd those buses and make sure the buses are clean, right? We have to do that. The second thing is I'm getting all these things about people that are in jail, in prison, Northern State, Clinton, and all these places, right? So the mayor has no control over those places, but there is a commissioner in the state that does. And your legislatures, your assembly people, your state senators, I know you only know mayor, your legislatures, your state assembly people, even your freeholders on the county side have information that can put pressure on these people to change practices. But I'm going to raise it, right? So if people are positive, have tested positive in the jail, they need to be treated. They need to be isolated. They need to be moved. People should not be in population like business as usual while people are sick, right? That shouldn't be happening. We should be taken care of. Why? Because we're human beings. We human beings, we care about other human beings. We should not allow people to be in those conditions. And if you're at a halfway house, the Tully house, the Tola house, all these houses down here that are transitioning people back home, right? You're not allowing them to come out and work anymore, so you can't keep them confined in there without PPEs. People need gloves, they need masks, The workers need gloves. The workers need masks. The place needs to be clean. The jails need to be clean. The halfway houses need to be clean. And those prisoners and the folks in there, the residents, need to be isolated from one another. They need to practice social distancing. You cannot confine those people in a situation where death is certain for them because we're not taking care of them. There are people out here who care about that. And I would say, instead of adding me on Instagram and Facebook, reach out to the commissioner of prisons and jail. Reach out to the state legislatures and folks like that as well. Add them in on this discussion. There's a couple of people who hit me up that I'm going to shout out later, and I appreciate you. I'm not saying this because I'm angry at you. I'm saying this because I appreciate the fact that you are raising it so we can raise it. But the cynicism and the hopelessness and the name calling and the foolishness, we got to leave behind us. It's not the time for that. This crisis brings out your character, right? So if you didn't have any integrity before this, all of your lack of integrity is going to get exposed in the middle of this thing, right? So I'm asking you, if you're one of those people, pray, do some push-ups, do something, change something about yourself to help us get to the end, help us get a conclusion, help us get a solution. It's not the time for us to be pointing fingers and throwing people away and doing all kinds of things that are unnecessary. We have people dying by themselves in overcrowded hospitals. Step up to the plate and help us fix this problem. Remain diligent in everything that you do. Please continue to remain diligent in that. Look, we asked you to pass out masks. We asked you to wear masks, so we're going to pass out a couple. I said it before. We have a couple of thousand masks. We don't have masks for everybody in the city. The police and the fire are going to start passing masks out. They're going to start passing them out. When they get them, they're going to start passing them out. Makeshift masks, made-up masks. You can make some at your house. All I ask you to do is not throw the stuff on the ground. If you was one of those people who walked down the street and threw everything on the ground, please don't do that now. Don't throw your mask down. Don't throw the gloves down. Don't throw them in the toilet, and don't throw them on the street. Put them in a can. And when you take the gloves off, you have to take it off from the bottom here, up here, right? Or you're just contaminating yourself again. When you take off your mask, take it off from the rubber bands and not from the face part, or you're contaminating. And don't wear the mask again unless you clean it. Clean the mask, because when you're out, people are talking, the particles can get on the outside of your mask. And the reason we're asking everybody to wear masks is because we have to assume that everybody is positive for the coronavirus. Why? Because we don't know if you have it. You could be asymptomatic walking around with the coronavirus. I don't want you next to me if you don't have on a mask, right? Because now the scientists are saying you can give somebody the coronavirus simply by breathing on them. Had to pause for that. Simply by breathing on them, you can get a coronavirus. So you sitting there talking to somebody, y'all having a good time, you and your boys out there, they're breathing on you, they can give you the coronavirus. You can carry it home in your pocket and take it right to your grandmother, right to your mother, right to your little brother or your uncle that has diabetes or cancer or something else, and wipe your whole household out. Because I know you don't live in a 3-floor house. You in a 2-bedroom flat, right? You in a 1-bedroom house, right? You take 3 steps and you're in the kitchen, right? So if you know that, then you should be doing everything in your power to protect the people in your household. And catching the Uber to hang out on Elizabeth Avenue is not the way to do that. It's not the way to do that. You have to change your behavior. This is something positive that I want to add, right? Newark Public Schools are beginning on April 20th is having Spirit Week. All you young people and students that are out there, they're having Spirit Week. I want to shout out Superintendent Leon. Pay attention to Spirit Week. I'll put it up on my page. Everybody's going to put it up. Things that your young people and the students can do all week long. Spirit Week to build our morale, to build our spirits in this difficult time. So shout out to the superintendent. Beginning on April 20th, they're going to have what's known as Spirit Week. We want to make sure we participate in that. Again, I want to tell people to fill out the census while you're home, while you're there. We need the money. We need money for roads. We need money for schools. We need money for homelessness. We need money for healthcare. We need money for FQHC. We need money for AIDS. We need monies for all of the things that we have. And those monies are calculated based on the number of people we have, whether you documented or undocumented, whether the people are on your lease or not on your lease. You count everybody in your household, no matter who they are. You can't be penalized for it. You can't be evicted for it. You can't be deported for it. You can't be arrested for it. In fact, it's against the law for them to use that information against you. Fill out the census, www.2020census.gov, or go to our Facebook page and get a number so you can call online when you can. Again, want to thank the police and fire for heading over to University Hospital in Beth Israel, giving them people some love, a shout out, because they deserve it, they need it, 100,000%. Again, want to shout Whole Foods out for being the best example in the city, making sure people can't come in unless they wear masks, but they have on gloves, and all of the workers are in there protected with PPE, with gloves and masks on. Shout out to the owners of Whole Foods downtown on Broad Street, doing a hell of a job. We appreciate you here in the city of Newark because you're saving lives. You're saving lives. Shout out to all those parents out there who are dealing with children with autism in their household, who are struggling every day to find things for them to do, who are trying to maintain, who are trying to keep them in this time. I gave out some numbers earlier. Call those numbers if you need help. If you need some assistance, Shani Baraka number 973-757-7377 or 973-418-0735. Call those numbers if you need some help and support. I know it's difficult out there. Listen, more of us disproportionately have autism, our children, than any other folks, man. Just like we disproportionately have all these other diseases, and we disproportionately are dying from COVID-19. We're disproportionately dying from COVID-19. In fact, our rate in the city of Newark is probably 35 times more in terms of people contracting it and dying in our city than it is of the flu, right? Last year, we had 51 homicides in the entire 12-month period. We have 92 people dead from the coronavirus in less than 1 month. If you don't think that's serious, then something's wrong with you. Then something's absolutely, positively wrong with you if you don't understand how serious that is. Shout outs. Time. I want to shout out to Tatiana, loving my life. Thank you for the support and making sure we know what's going on. Sugar Fetish, shout out to Sugar Fetish, trying to make sure we got healthy and good options in our city for food, right? Don't just keep going to Checkers, y'all. Go get some healthy options. Drink you some ginger, some pineapple, some fruit, get you some vegetables, get some black seed oil in you, right? Get some turmeric in you, get some zinc in your body, get some vitamin C in your body, do some exercise. The best vaccine for all of this is good health. Good health, strengthen your immune system, boost your immune system, help it become strong. Healthy food options. Shout out to Sugar Fetish for making me talk about that today. Shout out to DJ Little Man, who's been doing an awesome job. We talk a lot about DJ D Nice, but we got our own D Nice in the city of Newark. DJ Little Man, who has his parties virtually every night. He's rocking and rolling for the young people and some of the adults too. I see you. Thank you for the work you're doing, DJ Little Man, and for making sure people have access to food too. You're doing an awesome, awesome job. I am V Dub. Thank you, brother, as well. Continue to send all of the rap videos that I'm getting. I appreciate that. And I can't say this guy's name, but David Atun Share. David Atun Share. Thank you, brother, for keeping us abreast of some of the people that are not following the social distancing here on the city. Don't want to tell on the people you told on, but I appreciate you, brother. Stay at it. And all of the people who hit me all the time, telling me about the people who don't go in the house. We see you over there on Pomona and Aldine. We know you out there. We coming to get you. Clinton Avenue and 10th Street, Clinton Avenue and 15th Street, Clinton Avenue and 17th Street, Avon and 19th Street, 6th Ave, 7th Ave, 5th and 6th. We know you out there. North 13th Street, North 14th. We know you out there. We coming to get you. You're hanging out, Elizabeth and Renner. We coming to get you. We know you out there. Don't think that people don't know you out there. We coming to get you. We coming to get you out there on Asta, over there on Sherman. We know you hanging out. We coming to get you. Go in the house. Go in the house. Go in the house. It's for your own good, and it's for the good of the people who take care of you, and for the people in your neighborhood and your community. We are working, and we're going to make sure that we survive this thing and get through it all, y'all. Get through it all. Listen, I'm a poet, right? So I'm gonna start ending these things with poetry because I want us to understand what Newark Strong is. All my life, I grew up in this town, and we misrepresented what Newark Strong was. We called ourselves the Bricks because we thought we wanted to be tough guys. We thought that we could, our being disrespectful and crazy and wild and stuff that are happening that is abnormal in our communities was the right thing. But that's not what Newark Strong means. Being strong don't mean acting a fool. It means being able to stand up in the most difficult times, to show character when everything else is stacked up against you, to fight against the biggest of odds, to come out triumphant when there's so many people against you, when war rises up against you, when the encampment rises against you, that you there in your heart and you know that you're going to survive, and you're taking care of your family and your friends, and you love this city more than anything else you have, that you'll fight for it with every ounce of energy that you have. Whether you got here yesterday or whether you've been here for 30, 40 years, Newark has something about it that makes us fight to the end for it. That's what Newark Strong is. And when we hold the line because of Newark Strong. I grew up hanging out on Avon and 14th in front of Youssef Steak and Take, over there on Avon 11th Street in front of the pool hall, or Clinton Avenue on 11th Street in front of the building. Newark Strong to me means family. It means family. It means hanging on to your family, taking care of your family, taking care of the people who became family because they raised you, because they hung out with you, because they fought with you, because they survived with you. That's what Newark Strong means. And if you outside in this pandemic allowing people to die, then you're not a Newarker, and you don't represent what Newark Strong means to me. You Newark weak. I'm a part of Newark Strong. This is by Audre Lorde, one of the greatest poets and activists. She was an incredible person, and it's called A Litany for Survival. It's halfway long, but bear with us, please. For those of us who live at the shoreline, standing upon the constant edges of decision, crucial and alone. For those of us who cannot indulge the passing dreams of choice, who love in doorways, coming and going, in the hours between dawns, looking inward and outward, at once before and after, seeking a noun that can breed futures like bread in our children's mouths, so their dreams will not reflect the death of ours. For those of us who are imprinted with fear, like a faint line in the center of our foreheads, learning to be afraid with our mother's milk, for by this weapon, this illusion of some safety to be found, the heavy-footed hoped to silence us for all of us. This instant and this triumph, we were never meant to survive. We were never meant to survive. And when the sun rises, we are afraid it might not remain. When the sun sets, we are afraid it might not rise in the morning. When our stomachs are full, we are afraid of indigestion. When our stomachs are empty, we are afraid we may never eat again. When we are loved, we are afraid love will vanish. When we are alone, we are afraid love will never return. And when we speak, we are afraid our words will not be heard nor welcomed. But when we are silent, we are still afraid. So it is better to speak, remembering we were never meant to survive. We were never meant to survive. Not by ourselves. Together, we will survive. Newark Strong, y'all. God bless you. God speaks to you. Let's get through this. Let's get through it together.